Hi, in this video we are going to talk about this book Entrepreneur 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Which basically caught my eye when I was going through the Kindle Unlimited library. I thought I will summarize it because I don't think anyone else will. So let's summarize it. Basically, the book is a culmination of going through a lot of business books, a lot of things that we all go through, but we are confused on which one to pick and which one not to pick. And every time you see a business book on the shelf, it's every time something new, and you are not basically starting the business, you are instead just going through the books of how to start business. That's the case with I'm thinking most of us who want to start business, who want to become an entrepreneur, and I'm one of them. I just happened to pick this book because this seems interesting, and this seems to have a combination of every book that's available in the market, and the author, I think, has done a good job of summarizing it and putting it into one easy to read thing. And it's not a big book, it's like 100 pages long, 120 pages. You can skip across it and just read whatever seems to be most important to you, although I advise you to go through the entire book if possible. Now, some of the things that I would like to talk about is the first principle that you need to, while in your business journey, while in the entrepreneurial journey, you need to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. Now, most of us, what we say that we don't want this, we don't want to be poor, we don't want to be on the street and things like that. And manifestation does not work that way. Whatever you put your attention to, that gets manifested. So if you put your attention to not being poor, you will become poor. If you put your attention to being afraid that you won't get a job, you won't get a job. But instead, if you focus on attention on getting a job, getting that business, starting that business, becoming rich, becoming famous, then you will be rich and famous. It's all about how you do it. So focus on the things that are important in your life instead of focusing on things that you don't want in your life. That's the essence of manifestation. And always keep in mind, wherever you are in your life, just focus on what you want in life. The second thing is that not getting started. Now, we all in entrepreneur journey, whether you are a YouTuber, whether you are preparing for an exam, we are afraid to get started. We are just going through the course material and we are not starting. We are not making things. Unless you make things, unless you start, you won't become big. So anyone who is big right now, anyone who is successful, be it Tata, be it Reliance, be it Elon Musk, they had to start somewhere. And they were not good enough when they were starting out. So don't try to be really good when you're just starting out. Try to be as bad as possible. Just get started. You will be 10 or 20 times ahead of other people. Be the rabbit, at least take a good start and then become a turtle instead of just being turtle all the way, not even starting the race. So that's the essence of the second point, which is not getting started. Avoid that. Now, there is another problem with a lot of entrepreneurs, that they are not persistent. Persistence is the most important attribute, and I will not, I know everyone repeats it, but persistence is the most important attribute that you can have within yourself, that you are persistent and you will not give up before you reach that particular goal, before you become what you want to become. So always persist. Try not to give up. But if the situation arises where you are so frustrated, you have bills to pay and you are not able to sustain, it's wiser to give up. So you always have to balance when to give up, when to not give up. But whenever there is passion, whenever you are passionate about something, a business, a career, anything, a passion, a hobby, anything that you're really passionate about, you won't be able to give up, you won't be able to persist. And that's the indication that something is a passion for you. That's the indication that you are made for something. Always try to decide or pick a topic, pick a niche where you are such passionate that you won't give up in any way. Never try to force yourself into a category. For example, if someone loves dancing, I wouldn't say that they should focus their energy on singing, because they won't be able to persist, they won't be able to withstand the pain, the frustration and all. Fourth mistake that most people make in their entrepreneurial journey, according to this particular book, and I also agree, is that having too many ideas. Having too many ideas have no value, basically. If you have too many ideas, you are basically similar to a kid. Kid has too many ideas, but kid cannot implement, kid cannot make things, kid cannot produce things, because he does not have a way to channel his energy to a single goal, to channel his energy to a particular path. That's the art of being a man, being a woman, being mature. So you need to understand that too many ideas is not good. So if you have just one idea and you are able to monetize on it, then you will basically be much more bigger than you ever would want to be. So you can say that Elon Musk has a lot of idea. How does he channel it? Elon Musk is a different breed, man. When you're just starting, I doubt that he was working on multiple things. Yeah, now he's working on multiple things, and because over the time he has become better. Maybe over the time you also become better. But at the start, even Elon Musk would say that don't do multiple things at once. It's really difficult, man. It's really difficult. And second thing is that Elon Musk is also is an investor as well, so I don't think he gives that much energy to all his business. He's just taking the big shots. He's just taking the big decisions like most of the other entrepreneurs do. But when you're starting off, you need to focus on one thing at a time. Fifth mistake that most people do is that they run out of money before they even reach the MVP stage, which is minimal viable product stage. Now most people say that quit a job, start a startup. Now a few years back, startup was gaining a lot of energy, like startup is everything, and everyone was trying to start a startup. Now the reality is you need money to run a startup. Where will that money come from? Especially when you're just starting off, it might come from your family, friends, or your own pocket. Now where will the money comes from your own pocket when you are also spending that money to survive, to pay the bills? So part-time work, so working is important. You need to put money into a startup on your own before investors can invest into it, before you can go full-time for your startup. Now that is the essence of this book as well, which says that 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. entrepreneur, you can run a startup by going from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Initially money is important. Initially having a safety or backup is important, and you cannot undervalue that thing. And it's okay. It's okay to have this kind of mindset that you're only working part-time for your startup, because you also have other responsibility for you. Don't try to idealize it, that quitting a job, working full-time, becoming rich, becoming famous. Don't try to go through that fantasy route, is what this author says, and I also agree with him after making the same mistake myself. So the sixth mistake that people make is that predicting rather than testing. So most entrepreneurs think that they know what the customer want, instead of just testing. What Apple did, or what Steve Jobs did, that they did a lot of customer testing, a lot of psychological testing on what people really want, instead of what most people think they want. When most people say what they want, they do not mean it really, because there is a conscious mind, there is a subconscious mind. Subconsciously they want something else, but consciously they think they want something else. For example, there is an important saying that go ahead and ask someone what kind of coffee they like. Most people they say is milky, but when they what they really want, what the stats say they want, is like really nice black coffee. So that's the thing. What people say that they want may not be what they really want, and you need to understand. You need to test the people. You need to completely test and get data from the people to understand what they really want, and only then produce it, instead of just asking them and thinking that you know what they want. That's what Apple did, and that's what we can learn from Steve Jobs and all. Seventh mistake that most entrepreneurs make is taking really big high bets and losing it on a big scale, instead of making small bets. So again, the premise of this book, 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. entrepreneur, it says that take small bets. Okay, if you're doing part-time, it's a small bet. It's on the side. You like it doing it, you like working for it, but it's on the side. You do not care if it fails. Okay, but if it makes big, then you will of course quit the job and do it full-time, because it's your passion. It's making money now. So that's what it means to have small bets. And minimal viable product, which is like a lean startup principle, is on the similar thing, that you are making you are failing fast. You are producing something really fast into the market, and you're seeing if that particular thing works or not, instead of just putting entire money, creating a big architecture, creating a company, and then launching the product and figuring out that it entirely failed. People did not want it. So make a small product, put it into the market, and then see if it works or not. That way you won't have much to lose. Eighth thing that the book says is that not having a co-founder is a big mistake. And if you go through the Y Combinator course, that's an amazing course. If you want to be an entrepreneur, go through the free Y Combinator course, which is Become a Startup Founder. Is something similar to that. There's only one course, and it's an amazing course that says that Y Combinator does not. Y Combinator rarely funds a startup that doesn't have co-founder. So always have a co-founder. Always have someone who complements you in your skill. So if you have. So this book also goes into details. So if you are someone with a front end skills, for example sales, marketing, etc., if you know how to get business, you need someone with a back end skill who is taking care of the product, taking care of things that happens in the product. If you're someone in the back end, you need someone on the front end. So you cannot be both, because these are contradicting qualities. You can either go inside or you can go outside. And of course, there is a preference between what you like to do. You want to go on the inside, or you want to go to the outside. It's very rare that there will be someone or some person who can do both things really well. and investors don't like to invest in that kind of person, because one person is easy to break, but if you have a team of co-founders, one or two co-founders at least, then it's difficult to break them, because when one person is down, other person can help them get back up, and they can make progress much more faster. Other reason is that two-person of course brings a different perspective, and that's really good in a long run. In NLP we have this assumption that map is not the territory, which is that how we see the world is not really how it is, and everyone sees the world differently. That's also why having a co-founder is better, because every co-founder will think differently. Why most startup fail, or most people are unable to start a company, is that they avoid listening. They are too lost in themselves, like they are almost like thinking that they know what they are doing, and they don't have to listen to anyone else. They have the all domain expertise, and they know what the people want. They are not listening to others. Now when you even if you go watch Shark Tank India or anywhere, you will come across people who don't want to listen to what sharks are saying, right? Today only I watched this episode of a woman who was presenting this laser treatment. She wasn't really into listening to what the sharks were saying, and she just want to squash any kind of criticism that comes along the way. That's in a way just shows that you are arrogant and you don't value other people emotion or other people opinion. That will be detrimental for you in your startup journey, in your entrepreneur journey. In entrepreneur journey, you need to be always open to criticism, always open to opinion, and you have to act upon it. Any opinion, any criticism is helpful for your survival of your company, for your survival of your business and your employees. So you need to be empathetic towards any criticism that comes along your way. You have to always listen. Be empathetic. 10th reason is being secretive and not talking enough people. So if you're secretive and you're not talking to a lot of people, it will be again detrimental to you, because you think that you have the next great idea, next amazing idea, but you never know. Maybe the thing has already been started. Maybe people don't need it. Maybe the alternative is so good that people don't want your idea. What will you do then? You'll basically be failing. You'll be falling on your face first if you don't talk to people, if you don't understand whether your idea is even wanted or not. The other reason people think that if I tell my ideas to others, they will steal my idea. So that's as far as many books I have read, as many of interviews I have read, everyone has said that this is a false notion that people will steal your idea. It's rarely the case. On the contrary, people might not see the value of your idea as much as you think there is value in an idea. So it's always good to share your ideas with others, share it with others, understand whether your idea is valuable or not. 11th reason why people fail in business or why people fail to start up is they don't know how to raise money. So even I don't understand how to raise money, but you must understand that raising money is important. The time will come when you have to switch from part-time working to full-time working, and you will need money for it, to pay your own bills, to pay companies' bills, to pay salaries, etc, etc, etc. So you need the right people, right investor on your team, and that's what also the book Doglapan goes into detail about how and why investing is important, why investors are important in your company. So if you haven't read that book, if you haven't watched the summary, go ahead and watch the summary. It's on my channel. And raising money is important. Raising and keeping the right team is also important. Always have the right team in place. Always have the right idea in place. Know which idea you are going towards, and avoid the mistake that I just listed, that were listed in this particular book. I hope this video was helpful for you. I'll see you in the next video. If you have any suggestions, just type down in comments below. I'll see you.